Today, from State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona, it's Week 13 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Seattle Seahawks.
Some of those in the silver-haired community would say it's a great day for golf, and it is, don't get me wrong, but we say it's a great day for football, and the roof is wide open here in Glendale at State Farm Stadium. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Cardinal team as they get ready here. They have certainly got it rolling of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And it's simple. The more you win in the regular season, the more likely you play at home in the postseason, and that can take you deep into January.
Just about time to rock as Toe gets ready to meet leather. And this one is underway here on EA Sports. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. Under center, it will be the Southern California native standing at 6'4", Sam Darnold.
I love just about everything about him. Love his game, love his makeup, love his moxie, one of my favorite words. This guy's a competitor. Gritty, tough, you name it, he's got it. But he did throw an interception in last week's game. That contributed to a loss. And despite the fact he threw 3 touchdown passes, he's going to be out there redoubling his efforts and trying to play better.
The run there on first down gets him a yard to the 26. You look at this Arizona defense. They were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't improve in this game, head coach isn't going to be looking at the offensive line. He's going to be looking at the offensive line coach. And that's when things get dicey. We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. This defense for the Cards, they were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beat them man for man. That's the kind of defense that really frustrates an opponent.
2 yards still to go. 3rd down now. They'll run here with a rookie from Washington. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down. 3 yards in the wrong direction.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for. One of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. So here are the Cardinals now with a long field ahead. And they are led out there by their mobile quarterback.
Okay, I'm not taking a turn to negative town, even though it's going to sound like it. The 2 interceptions he threw last week, those obviously have to be eliminated, and that was the focus of practice this week. But let's face it, he did throw 3 touchdown passes.
And they got the win.
And they got the win, so I think it was a good week for him to work on things. Had some positives, the win being first and foremost. Now he's just got to eliminate those interceptions.
First carry for James Conner. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. They'll drop to throw. Finding his target, it's Trey McBride. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Looking to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. Here comes the Cardinals punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. So possession goes over here on the punt, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their 2nd drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8. On the toss to Charbonnet. And everyone on their assignment defensively there as he'll be taken down behind the line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with to have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team was saying, hey, yeah, we called him the disruptor. And that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. We'll get that to Charbonnet. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the Cards are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They're guarding against the upset. But that was definitely a surprise there. Handed to the big guy on 1st down. Heck, the first play of the drive. And when you see him get to the 2nd level, as a former safety, I can just tell you, your eyes get really wide because you know you've got a lot to deal with at that point.
The numbers there for Conner in last week's game. 19 carries, 74 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah, he could very well be on his way to a rushing title, but guess what? His offensive line, they're meeting separately because they want that rushing title as much as he does, and they want to make sure they get him there.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Open man is Marvin Harrison Jr. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 at a 1st down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
On 1st and 10 is Connor. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. The Cardinals hit 10-1 now on the year, and they have certainly got it rolling as of late, winners of 6 in a row.
And I think this is where, as a head coach, you show your team some trust. Instead of just talking about winning, the very next game, you point out to them, we're on a nice run here, and if we keep doing this, we'll be playing at home in the postseason, and we know that could ride us all the way to the Super Bowl if we get that done.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Rolling to his right. A short one here, caught by McBride. A lot of work to get away and outside of the pocket, but no actual yardage there on the catch. It's 2nd down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Back to throw here. Over the middle, complete. It's Connor. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 28. 12 yards to pick up. Good enough for an Arizona first.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. They run behind center with Connor. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up 1st and goal. A much different second drive here, Charles. They go 3 and out the first time. This time they've been able to sustain something downfield.
And that's what often happens. You get the game started. You have to get your footing underneath you. You have to get used to the flow of the game, the speed of the game. And sometimes that first drive is more of a probing drive. It appears they found something here in the second one.
They give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. And they'll run again. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. A great play there. His 12th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon.
Sometimes offense can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.